Hi, and welcome to the SoulBody Readings broadcast for the week of Wednesday, July the 8th through Tuesday, July the 14th. This week, the moon is rewriting the emotional blueprint throughout our bodies. Mercury is retrograding in Cancer, which is bringing old feelings, needs, memories, and family patterns back up through our chest, stomach, breath, and nervous system. Venus is entering Virgo, which is turning love into practical repair. The Cancer new moon opens a new route, but only after the body has named what it inherited, what it absorbed, and what it's ready to stop protecting. Some Egyptian Hermetic support is: the body is our temple chamber. The breath is the incense, the word is the inscription, and the message becomes medicine only when it's embodied first. Collective soul body message. The soul message of the week is: choose the signal that the body can sustain. Your body message for this week is: soften the chest, regulate the breath, support digestion, and let the nervous system come down before the message moves. Our collective water imprint for the week. My body can remember without reliving, and my emotional blueprint can be rewritten at the pace of safety. Sign by sign, soul body readings. Aries sun and Aries rising. Hi, Aries. Cancer is activating your fourth house, so the week begins in the root system. Family, memory, home, privacy, and the way that your body learned to defend itself before it ever learned to rest comes to the forefront. Mercury retrograding is asking you to hear the old household language without letting it drive your current reaction. Your soul message for this week, Aries, is not to fight the past, but to stop letting the past choose the temperature of your present body. The emotional blueprint will change when home becomes a place inside of you, not only a place that you came from. Your body movement for this week. Watch the head, jaw, stomach, and chest when you feel rushed to respond. Move heat out of the head with a walk. Then place one hand on the belly before making the next decision. Your plant message for this week, Aries. Hawthorn is the symbolic ally, not as medicine, but as the image of a protected heart gate. It says you can have boundaries and still stay tender. Your water imprint message. My body does not have to guard the old house anymore. A weekly text that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. This week, do not confuse urgency with truth. Let the first wave pass before you answer. Taurus sun and Taurus rising. Hi, Taurus. Cancer is activating your third house of voice, messages, siblings, neighbors, writing, and everyday speech. Mercury retrograde brings you back to your words that you might have swallowed, stories that you softened, and conversations that your body still remembers. Your soul message for this week, Taurus, is to let your voice become devotional instead of defensive. You're not here to prove your worth through perfect wording. You're here to let the body speak in a tone that it can live within. Your body movement for this week. The throat, neck, jaw, your ears and shoulders are your truth instruments for this week. Hum before a hard conversation and let the jaw unclench before you edit your message. Plant message for you this week, Taurus, comes from Violet. It's a symbolic ally carrying a Venusian softness for the throat and the heart. It says, quiet truth can still be powerful. Your water imprint for the week, Taurus. Speak this into your water. My voice is allowed to be soft and still be heard. A weekly text that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. Say the sentence that lets your body breathe, not the one that manages everyone else's comfort. Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising. Hi, Gemini. Cancer's activating your second house of money, value, pricing, receiving, and body security, while Mars and Uranus stir up your sign a bit. The emotional blueprint shows up in how fast you explain, discount, spend, earn, or brace around your actual value. Your soul message for this week, Gemini? Stop negotiating with the part of you that thinks safety must be earned through speed. Receiving becomes cleaner when the nervous system is no longer trying to outrun old scarcity. Body movement for you this week, Gemini? Lungs, hands, shoulders, ribs, and the stomach all need pacing. Shake the hands, widen the breath, and delay money or value decisions until your body stops buzzing. Plant messages for you this week, Gemini? Fennel is the symbolic ally for you. A mercurial seed image for digestion, sorting, and cleaner and clearer receiving. It says, take in only what your body can actually use. Your water imprint for this week, Gemini? You can speak this into your water if you so choose. I can receive without abandoning my breath. A weekly text that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. Before you answer, price, post, or purchase, ask whether your body is expanding or is it contracting. Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising. Hi, Cancer. Cancer season is in your first house, and the new moon is personal for you. Mercury retrograde in your sign asks your body, your name, your face, your sensitivity, and identity to stop carrying an outdated emotional role. A soul message for you this week, Cancer, is that the body that you live in now is allowed to become the authority. You do not have to keep protecting an older version of yourself to prove that you are loyal to your past. Body and movement for you this week is around the chest, stomach, breasts, fluids, sleep, and the skin are all speaking, as well as the heart. Choose warmth, containment, and fewer explanations when your sensitivity might spike. Plant messages for you this week. Water lily is the symbolic ally, a lunar image of beauty that's rooted in deep water. It says, rise without ripping yourself out of the place that formed you. Your water imprint message that you might choose to speak into your water. I begin again from the body I have now. A weekly text message you might want to send from yourself to yourself. Let this be a week of becoming, not defending. Your softness is not evidence that you're behind. Leo Sun and Leo Rising. Hi, Leo. Cancer activates your 12th house, the hidden chamber before your new solar cycle. Old grief, dreams, fatigue, private fear, and even spiritual protection are louder than usual because the body is clearing backstage. Your soul message this week, Leo, is to stop making rest prove its productivity to you. The heart light that wants to come through later needs darkness, quiet, and a safe inner room right now. Body and movement for you this week. Your heart, spine, upper back, sleep rhythm, and the immune edges might all need some tenderness. Stretch the front body gently. Lower the lights and let silence do some of the work. Plant messages for you are around Poppy as a symbolic ally, not as a remedy, but as a dream gate and a surrender image. Poppy says, rest is where the hidden heart remembers itself. Your water imprint for this week, Leo? Speak this into your water. I can be unseen and still be becoming radiant. A weekly text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. Do less performing this week. Your next glow is being assembled in private. Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising. Hi, Virgo. Cancer activates your 11th house of community, audience, friendship, hopes, and future belonging. Mercury retrograde asks whether the groups around you nourish your body or only use your usefulness. Your soul message for this week, Virgo, is to let belonging become more selective. The future opens when your nervous system stops making overfunctioning for love. Body and movement for you this week. Digestion, intestines, your hands, shoulders, and social fatigue need discernment. Before saying yes, notice whether your belly tightens or does it settle. Your plant message for this week, Virgo. Yarrow is the symbolic ally, a boundary plant image for sensitive systems that might absorb too much. It says you can serve without leaking more of yourself out of yourself than you want to. Your water imprint message, you might speak this into your water, Virgo. I belong where my body does not have to overwork. A text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. The right people will not require you to abandon your rhythm to prove your care. Libra Sun and Libra Rising. Hi, Libra. Cancer activates your 10th house of career, visibility, public work, leadership, and reputation. Mercury retrograde is asking whether the public version of you still matches the emotional truth that lies underneath. Your soul message for this week is to stop polishing the calling until the feeling disappears. Your work becomes more magnetic when it carries an honest body signal instead of a perfect mask. Your body and movement for this week focuses on the kidneys, lower back, skin, chest, and throat, which may all register visibility and some stress. Balance the pelvis, drink in beauty symbolically, and let the lower back soften before you make any public choices. Your plant messages this week. Rose is your symbolic ally, Venusian but thorned, soft but sovereign. It says, let beauty have a backbone. Your water imprint message that you might want to speak into your water this week. My public voice can come from a body that feels held. A text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself, Libra. Do not make yourself bland to be acceptable. Tenderness is part of your authority. Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising. Hi, Scorpio. Cancer activates your 9th house of meaning, faith, teaching, publishing, travel, and the larger story. Mercury retrograde asks which belief was built around an old emotional wound rather than living in truth. Your soul message for this week is to let one inherited belief dissolve so a deeper teaching can surface. You're not losing conviction, but you're purifying the water that it drinks from. Your body and movement messages for this week are around the pelvis, the bladder, reproductive waters, hips, and your liver all need honest release. Move slowly through the hips and exhale longer than you inhale when old certainty might tighten. Plant messages for you this week, Scorpio. Mugwort is the symbolic ally, lunar and it's threshold oriented, linked to our dreams, travel, and inner sight. It says the deeper map is felt before it's explained. Your water imprint. Speak this into the water, Scorpio. I release the belief that kept my body braced. A weekly text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. A new meaning is trying to reach you, but it cannot enter through an old defended story. Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising. Hi, Sagittarius. Cancer activates your 8th house of intimacy, shared money, grief, fear, inheritance, and deep exchange. Mercury retrograde is asking where your body has absorbed emotional debt that was never yours to carry. Your soul message for this week, Sagittarius, is to negotiate the unseen contract. Freedom this week is not escape. It's the courage to name what your body has been holding in silence. Your body and movement for this week, Sagittarius. Hips, thighs, pelvis, liver, elimination, as well as sacral tension need room. Choose one physical release ritual. Walking, you might try some hip circles, cleaning or clearing out a drawer, or returning an energetic burden to where it belongs. Your plant messages this week. Nettle is the symbolic ally, a Mars plant image for boundaries, minerals, and honest sting. It says, what protects you first might have to wake you up. Your water imprint message this week. I can release what was never mine to metabolize. A text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. The doorway opens when you stop calling endurance the same thing as faith. Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising. Hi, Capricorn. Cancer activates your 7th house of partnerships, clients, contracts, and mirrors. Mercury retrograde asks which relational patterns ask your body to become smaller, harder, quieter, or more responsible than it should. Your soul message for this week is to let support become measurable. Love, work, and commitment need to meet your body in real behavior, not only language. Body movement for you this week, Capricorn. Bones, knees, skin, stomach, and jaw may show you where a contract feels uneven or imbalanced. Stand with both feet planted before any important conversations. Your plant message this week? Comfrey is the symbolic ally, a Saturnian image of knitting, mending, and structural repair. It says, repair must reach the bone, not only the surface. Your water imprint for this week? I allow relationships to meet the body I actually have. A text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself, Capricorn. Notice who becomes more present when you stop carrying the whole structure alone. Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Rising. Hi, Aquarius. Cancer activates your 6th house of work, wellness patterns, service, labor, and daily body rhythms. Mercury retrograde is asking which routine was built around emotional management instead of real nourishment. Your soul message for this week, Aquarius, is that liberation may look boring at first. A meal, a boundary, a corrected schedule, a body habit that stops the old pattern before it escalates. Your body and movement for this week, Aquarius: ankles, calves, circulation, digestion, stomach, and nervous system electricity needs a steadier rhythm. Make one daily pattern simpler enough that your body can actually trust it. Your plant message for this week? Oat straw is the symbolic ally for you, a Saturn moon image of rebuilding the frayed system through steadiness. It says, consistency can be a form of freedom. Your water imprint for this week, Aquarius? My daily rhythm becomes a safe place for my nervous system. A weekly text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. Do not chase the big breakthrough while ignoring the small habit that would change everything. Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising. Hi, Pisces. Cancer activates your 5th house of creativity, romance, children, pleasure, play, and heart expression. Mercury retrograde is asking where joy got tangled with emotional risk. Your soul message for this week, Pisces, is to let the heart create without auditioning for safety. Pleasure is not frivolous this week. It's the doorway where the old emotional blueprint loosens. Your body movement for this week, Pisces: feet, lymph, heart, chest, and breath need softness and flow. Use music, water imagery, gentle foot care, or unstructured movement to invite the heart back in. Plant messages for you this week? Jasmine is the symbolic ally, a lunar Venusian flower image for night blooming tenderness, romance, and subtle joy. It says, what is delicate may still be strong enough to lead. Your water imprint for this week. My joy is safe to return through my body. A weekly text message that you might want to send from yourself to yourself. Make something small and beautiful before you explain why you deserve it. The body this week is not behind the soul. The body is in fact where the soul becomes honest enough to stay. This is a symbolic soul body beautiful week, friends. Please take good care. And if something is happening in your physical body, please use qualified care. And remember, always Trust your gut and come home to you. Thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful, blessed week.